That's the hour clock. The hour glass. It's time. It's ticking. What have I learned today, tomorrow, yesterday, the day before? What have I learned 10 years from now? Well, I'll have to go back in time and watch some videos and figure out what I learned in the future. The one thing that I learned, is that light on? Yeah. Sometimes the flash is on. Here's my, again, I come to conclusions. I juxtapositions a lot, and then I come to a conclusion. I may even change it later on too, but I think I got this one. Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Don't let the age face mask fool you with anything. Jonathan Click, Christofer Green, don't let the mask fool you. Joe Biden, Jacob Israel, sort of similar in character as acting like a goof. Joe Biden acts like he doesn't know how to read his script. He acts like he forgets what he's saying. He's just acting stupid. That's just like the character of the wise guy, the Jonathan Wise the third, and how John from Denver has a similar laugh, but it's a little bit different. Has similar teeth, but kind of like cousins. It's like in the family type of a look, but it's not the same exact. Because there's the same laughs are extended laughs. However, John Quentin Wise the third has just a creepy laugh. So his character that is played out by the person under the mask is meant to be creepy. And so basically what I'm saying is, John Wise isn't an actual real person. It's just another character. He's a Hollywood actor behind the mask. And John from Denver knows who that Hollywood actor is, because you obviously know that that's not him. That he's not. That's just a character. So it's the acting characters. Christofer Green is really Joe Biden. He's the one that is like Belshazar. He's the one that is being ran by the Pharaoh, Jonathan Click, Barack Obama. Jonathan Click Obama. It was Obama who thanked me when I was down in Philly today, 8:48 a.m., October 21st, 2020. Jonathan Click was the one that I was inspired to be led down to Harold Camping's World, 17 JFK, at 8:48 a.m. to see the water stand still. I didn't know before that Barack Obama said, "Be still, know that I am God," at 8:48 a.m. on September 11, 2011. I only realized these things after I pushed the record button and then research. Just like yesterday, I'm at Beersheba being attacked through the Wi-Fi network, and then you couldn't hear my voice either, so I just assumed it cut out on me. And the similar things I didn't even realize it was showing. He's showing you that guy with a Logan square, or with a Logan shirt, and he's sitting behind like a background. And then when I just looked at it today, well, the reason why I even went to Logan Square is because he's wearing a Logan shirt. All right, so I'll go there. I go there, I show him, I show the map, and then the guy, he's like a, I don't know, like a Hindu guy or something. He's sitting behind something that looks like a map. So, all right, so there you go. It's Logan Square, it's map, sun rising, and then like showing you the I guess the CERN thing, or the logo of the rising sun, and it's lining up looking just like the Logan Square circle. Recorded on the X app. It just seems like anytime I record something, I don't even have a, I'm not even recording it to think something's going to line up. I'm just recording it because I can show you what I want to show you with another channel while you see what I'm saying, but you couldn't see or hear anything. You couldn't hear what I was saying yesterday, but it was only a short video anyway. Christopher Green is a... Alright, so when I talk about Christopher Green, I talk about Hawaii, the islands, and how it got burned up, and I haven't really researched all of it, really any of it. I haven't really seen any actual real footages to see lately, but it's part of a movie that they're making. It's part of that reality documentary that Jacob Israel and Derek Rose was talking about that's coming out next year, because we're towards the end of the movie and it's live. It's happening right now. So that movie was shot down there in Maui, where everything was burned up, where they told you everybody died, and they said people were burned to death. It's all a movie, so it's just a script. It didn't really happen death-wise. The destruction happened, sure, because they're rebuilding it. They're going to build it back better. Build back better. Was that Obama or was that Joe Biden that said that? Because think about the connections. If Joe Biden's building back better, along with Barack Obama building back better, then the Antichrist is going to make fire come down from heaven, which is literal. It's either direct energy weapons showing you from the sky, like Click showed you, and then blowing stuff up, or it's a hologram coming from the sky, and then the detonators are set off to blow stuff up. Either way, it's still fire coming from heaven, because something's coming from the sky, and then because of that, whatever that something is, there's an explosion, there's fire on the ground. So that came from heaven. But truly, the fire coming from heaven is like when you watch the Philadelphia Art Museum footage that with Bono, YouTube, using my footage, and I show you that fire that proceeds from heaven, because it's like fire. When there was a man's hand writing many, many tekel up har sin to Belshazar, it was, some interpretations is it's a fiery writing on the wall. Fiery words were written on the wall. So that's fire coming out of the mouth. That's words, fire. And so considering that Joe Biden knows that he's biding time, I haven't fully determined if Jacob Israel is Christopher Green or not, but I'm leaning in that direction. And then because either way, both of the characters' time is coming to an end. The characters themselves, because it's time for them to retire. The person behind the mask is a saved individual. Just saved, like not, just saved, like saved from themselves, saved from their own greed and selfishness. They're saved from it because of the past 6 years. Before that, I I can't tell you that they were saved. But now I believe that they are. And let's just say they're not. Well, I believe they are. So my belief, my faith may heal them because I believe they are. I believe they have the ability to share the funds that they have, the ability to share money to people, starting with myself first, and then others, because I'm speaking up for others. You take care of the spokesman first, the one that's been attacked and harassed and abused. You take care of me first, and then I take care of all others. So I believe that whoever Christopher Green really is, Joe Biden, the president, the green serpent, then yeah, I mean, Belshazar can keep his gifts. He can give his gifts to another. But as you see, Daniel still interpreted the dream. I mean, the writing on the wall, and showed you Jesus writing on the wall. And even though he turned down the offer, they still clothed him in purple anyway and gave him a gold chain around his neck. Then I thought of another combination package with like Moses and the Pharaoh. Jonathan Kleck as Moses putting on the Pharaoh's headdress, where it seemed like he's the Pharaoh, but Skip Heitzing really is, because the landscape in Philadelphia matches it. It matches the character. Not only that, when I showed before Skip saying he's going to spray the ants, he's going to stand there with a smile on his face, that's exactly what the character above the art museum looks like. And Jonathan Kleck looks like the character, the face at the art museum from Google Maps, facing from east to west, and also the one eye is winking, and it looks like he's wearing headphones with a dead sheep behind his ear. And so I drew a picture of that, but he said Alex drew a picture too, calling Alex the devil. And he's also the one that led me in a direction at 17th and JFK, where the water rose up out of nowhere for the first time all year, as I was standing right there by the desert ground rocks that he struck, and then water gushed out of the rocks on 7/8/2020. And then October 21st, 2020, the water stood still, and that was Barack Obama the same day going to Philly. And I took all the sound bites that he said about Robin's Hood and thanking him, and you see him every single day and his appointees and messing up our whole entire setup. And that all happened with Jonathan Kleck, reminding me of Moses and Aaron, because on that day he was saying that God sent him on an errand that day. The golden calf, Aaron, the golden calf. Pulp Fiction, the suitcase, the golden image, worshiping the golden image instead of God. So the House of Israel, they believe in God. What I've learned was they just got so corrupted by Stephen James DeShawn as Israel, because when I hopped on the YouTube platform, the House of Israel is so corrupted because of their leader, and the way that they do it is you do it subtly. The serpent's more subtle than any other beast of the field. So what the serpent does is he subtly corrupts you. And he's been subtly trying to corrupt me from the beginning, but I wouldn't worship Stephen James, and then that's why I got severely attacked and gang stalked after that. And it ain't over yet, but you try touching the hem of the garment to corrupt it, you're only going to get healed from it. You can't corrupt the Christ spirit. You can only get cleansed from it. You can try to corrupt it and surround it and attack it, but you're only going to get stomped and then healed from it. So that's how that works. So if that spirit is upon anybody and it remains upon them, well, then that would be the person that you follow. Right, Boldly? Boldly reminds me of someone from the house of Israel who was so corrupted by Stephen James DeShawn, his leader, Israel. Now, I don't think Stephen James is just one character. I did before. I thought that that's all it was. But I believe you have at least 6 characters, because I think it's 6 wings upon the whatever that saying is in the Bible. And this looks like a holy place. Does that not, as I'm talking about it, does that not look like the, what used to be there isn't anymore? St. Peter's Park, Pecker Park altar in front of the art museum. I always seem to have more boogies in the morning. It would make sense that there's 3 Jonathan Clecks, that there's 3 unclean frogs, there's 3 sea creatures, swan creatures at Logan Square, and one of the characters is Stephen James, and the other one is Jacob Israel, and the other one is, well, Jonathan Cleck. But I'm not certain. I just feel like it may be. I don't know how I'll ever really know the truth unless they tell me when the movie's over. Either way, Jonathan Clegg has absolute authority on this planet. Whether he's the Pharaoh or just Moses underneath of the Pharaoh, as technically second in charge, really. It could also be the actual real Belshazar, because when I came in, you know how Jacob Israel drinks from a cup of fornication, so he's showing you that, and then that same cup is being drank by that drunken AI bot from the landscape, the art museum landscape you see on the left-hand side, reaching over St. Peter's Park, drinking from the cup of the fountains. And then, so that's the physical cup. Christopher Green is drinking from the spiritual cup. He doesn't have any cups that he's drinking from, but the character is drinking from that cup, and I believe he's looking to get 1,000 of his lords down at Maui, because they were promised to, like, heaven on earth or whatever. And then once we all meet up, then that's when they get the surprise. But Jonathan Clegg from the beginning, well, no, technically Stephen James from the beginning was drinking from the cup, because it seemed like it was a spiritual thing, because he was attacking me, and he was corrupting all of the house of Israel or Judah or whatever house. Because when you're lying that severely about someone that's the truth, you're corrupting them, you're deceiving them, you're like denying the Christ spirit, like Peter. I don't know why Peter was a pumpkin eater. I don't even know what that means. But I got to go by from the beginning. From the beginning, the guy in charge, Stephen James, also reminded me of being distracted by phone calls early in the morning. He reminded me of King Nebuchadnezzar, because he was already in charge when I showed up on YouTube for however many years. And then within 12 months, I was showing him some things and telling him that this is you, like, you're the head of gold, king. But here's what's gonna happen. And then don't you know, the way that King Neb lost his kingdom is because he was revealed. He was revealed. He was found out. I had an audience to prove what Stephen James was doing. So considering the script is, with that character, he's living down here on Earth at least almost 7 years now with the wild asses of the field, and the drunken, the roommates that he supposedly gets and that kind of thing, and he's poor and eating grass down here because he has to eat the grass, like he grows the marijuana, so he's eating grass of the field, just like Nebuchadnezzar. He doesn't really smoke it, but he eats the grass of the field like an oxen. I just thought of that one. How you like that connection, Steve? And so 7 years next year would be my 7th year since joining YouTube. I'm already in my 6th year. I'm going on my 7th year. 2024 seems to be that year. And as King Neb, his son or grandson, Justin Michael, came in my direction. And Justin Michael, I have also thought, is that Christofer Green? Are you robots underneath masks, bodysuits? Can you extend your legs to be taller and then hop in another bodysuit that's stretched out longer for you? Instead of skull and bones, it's, you're mixed with iron mixed with clay, which is the AI mixed with clay, flesh. Because the two came after me. Now, but in the Bible it says Belshazar is the grandson of King Neb. Belshazzar's father is Nabonidus or something. So I don't know. It's still debating on that one, because Christofer Green, Jacob Israel, Justin Michael, they all have the same eyeballs, the big eyeballs. Derek Bros kind of at a time I thought maybe has like similar, John from Denver, you kind of have those eyes also. But Stephen James has a different set. He has what's that girl's name over in the one that's like over in London or something, the Greta Lynch or something like that. I believe that's Stephen James. And I believe that you have a way of, you can just be smaller and taller, and you're really just small people that can extend your ankles and get taller, I think. I don't know. And then George Bush and Christofer Green. Seems like George Bush, that's your father, but then George Bush is also Jonathan Clegg. One of them for sure, because he's the one that came in after 9/11. He's the one that came in the YouTube platform showing you what he did on 9/11 with the US currency that he drew with his artwork and they printed. The second 9/11 is also printed on US currency, the bombings, and it's been confirmed to me that whether it gets canceled or not, the plan was definitely at 17th and JFK, because all that attention with the water staying still and rising up out of nowhere, and Chase Bank, it's on the back of a $50 bill. When you fold it, it looks like there's an explosion on the 3rd floor with smoke coming up, which could be from a direct energy weapon or holographic meteorite falling from the sky, and then a detonator set to explode. And then that would start at 5:55 a.m. because, well, it's on the back of a $50 bill. When you fold the $50 bill, it says 5 and then F-I-F, half of the T, and then 5. So 5/5 T5. And that would kickstart the second 9/11 in Philly, because that gets everybody out of the way. And then that way, you know, because nobody actually dies except for when they sacrifice their own life and they disappear and they turn from male to female, or from female to male. And then Liberty 1 and Liberty 2 are next, because even Joe Biden just showed you the number 1848, 1848. That's when the water stood still at 8:48. That's when Barack Obama read it and said, "Be still, no damn God," in the city of God. And Liberty 2 is 848 feet tall. It's about taking your liberties, although we're getting our liberties back. So the buildings collapsing are twin towers. They're pyramids. They are your enemies. The pyramids are your enemy. And then that would just leave the William Penn building, because it's in the middle of frickin' Broad Street, and wide and broad is the path to destruction. And Philadelphia having a little bit of strength, the angel of the Church of Philadelphia. That's why I tie all that together. Paul Begley, man, I'll tell you, you keep talking about Christ returning with this Jubilee or the Feast of Trumpets or something right around 9/14, 9/15. Gematria number 9/14. That's my name. Don't wear it out. 9/15, 9/16, the Feast of Trumpets. 9/11, you're supposed to see there's a new meteorite coming or something. It sounds like Paul's talking about the second 9/11 truly happening, this coming up on 9/11, 2020. He even wrote a book about it. So did Jacob Israel. These may be the same people. Pretty sure. And so that book's coming out, second 9/11, 21 full years, which is 21 days. Day is a year in biblical prophecy. A day is as 1,000 years. 1,000 years is as one day also. So 2,000 years since Christ being crucified. Well, don't forget about this one thing. Don't be ignorant of that one thing that I just said. Because these are about days. Everything's crunched within that 7-year tribulation period. So we're going, you guys are going through the tribulation. Ain't it tough? You know, the Illuminati, the actors and everybody, you're all going through this tribulation period right now, because it's a revealing, and that's all it really is. And so whoever's in charge, it doesn't really truly matter. I'm not gonna bow down to you, Satan. You already know that. You already know my future. You already know the end of my life, so you already know what I will and won't do. However, you'll still try. You'll still try to change it, even though you know the end. But I don't know the end. Even though I do, I haven't lived it out yet. Even though I already did, I just don't remember being plugged into this matrix system from birth. So I've concluded Christopher Green, the Green Serpent, is Joe Biden. And I'm leaning towards Jacob Israel being Joe Biden, the Joker, as well. But if that's the case, well, then that would mean that he's Christopher Green also, the serpent. There's no question that Jacob Israel is a serpent. But is he an AI serpent that he's not even real? Or is he a reptilian serpent? You see, the reptilians, I believe, are real. They live on Earth. The Pharaoh lives on Earth. obviously because he's in charge. But the AI bots, they're trying to come from another land to take over Earth. Yins can just go back to hell where you came from and get off our planet and stop trying to take over. Tomorrow I'm going to build a pig pen. Or am I? Or is it already built? I built one. I built the third one to the right. And I guess he already got started on the other one. Oh, that's cool. I don't have to work all day tomorrow then. You know, these people to the left, they just need to move out. That way I can move in and redo the house. You know, this is I influenced. It's like in the story, it's like, you know, Joseph told Pharaoh to pick up some corn or something, corn on the cob for 7 years, just in case. I sent a long text message to my boss, David, the king of Jewelers Row, the one that owns the Trade Center. I said, I think it'd probably be a good idea to buy a farm close by in case, you know, the economy collapses and it's self-sufficient. And boy, don't you know, 9 months later, like planting a seed, it gave birth to a reality of like 90 acres or something. And I believe Jonathan Kleck used to live here, or maybe he still does. That would be something else. My boss. Stephen James did say, "Hey, Robin, you need to borrow some money. Go ask Jonathan Kleck." And then I went and asked my boss to borrow some money for this truck that tried ripping me off with. It's all good because what does it matter? By this time next year, the money is mine. Your silver and gold is mine.